Last episode from Burst, we talked about myelin and how, like the rubber coating on a copper wire, it insulates the neurons to improve the transmission of messages through our nervous system. Today, I want to talk about an important part of our brain that enables us to do those things that make us special as human beings. You might think of it as the director of our intentional actions and thoughts. Make a fist with your hand and knock on your forehead. Not too hard, because right inside your skull you find it, the prefrontal cortex. Now, tuck your thumb inside your palm and make that fist again. This is going to be our handy model of our brain that we'll use for future episodes. Pun is intended. Take a look at our model. Your front knuckles make up what's called your prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is where all of the heavy lifting of the intentional or cognitive brain takes place. Your prefrontal cortex processes language, mathematics, history, storytelling, and other intellectual functions. While monkeys and dolphins can communicate, they don't record history or create alternative futures or design machines that move them or mimic their own thinking process. Our prefrontal cortex is precious, but it is also vulnerable, both to injury and to distraction. If you have ever lost consciousness through a concussion or a head injury, that's likely because your prefrontal cortex bounced off the front of your skull, resulting in it swelling. The more you can limit this from happening, the better for your long-term brain health. The prefrontal cortex is not a very efficient consumer of energy. Other parts of your brain can run your heart, your lungs, your digestive system, all while sleeping. But your prefrontal cortex demands your undivided attention for best outcomes. Here is where you come in again. Through what psychologists and educators call metacognition, you, that magical and mysterious part that makes you, you, have the ability to direct your eyes, your ears, your body to attend to those things that are important to you. When you do this effectively, you create myelinated pathways that make you smarter and more skilled. When you effectively execute your prefrontal cortex's power of concentration, called deep practice, your neural circuits myelinate to become efficient pathways of brain messages. We will discuss tricks of the trade in coming talks that unleash the magical power of you upon your prefrontal cortex and the rest of your brain and body. For today, remember that your prefrontal cortex is your brain's command center. When you engage your prefrontal cortex and persist in managing its focus, this leads to you flourishing in school and life.